So interface is nothing but we just provide plain declaration and no definitions, and because of that particular factor all the methods should be public and we cannot provide any definition for these methods. And next important point will be that why do we really need interface? Interface is required. One blunt reason is to achieve multiple inheritance. To achieve multiple inheritance, because in Java I cannot have one class extending from other multiple classes. One class cannot extend other multiple classes. There will be conflict, because I mean maybe I think there are other ways that maybe C++ sorts this out, but in Java they rather thought that it solves some you may provide that feature, but it might be creating more problem than that what we are solving. So they restricted that a child will have only one parent. I cannot have comma and write one more class. Now but when it comes to interfaces I can pretty much use like this. I can actually say that my class for when you are using an interface someone need to provide the implementation, and how we do, we say public class, in this case hello world impl implements hello world comma new world. Hello world is a different interface, new world is a different interface. You can see those classes here. And if you clearly notice both of them have one method that is same, but it doesn't hurt. The reason is it is plain interface. The way you use will be by by the interface name. You declare the variable. Okay, before that I'll close this particular thing. So always, I mean, it is possible that a class can implement multiple classes. Okay, sorry, multiple interfaces, and an interface can extend an interface can extend and an interface can extend another interface. There is a little bit of catchy word here. See, a class extends another class. A class extends another class, and an interface.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I'm not able to record the session.
You're not able to record?
Yeah.
You want to record?
Yeah, I want to record.
Okay. Yeah, you should be able to know.
Hari, do we have all the classes recorded?
Yes, yeah, mostly yes.
Okay. I want to listen last 2-3 classes again. So
Yeah, sure. I'll send you the link.
okay. Because after this core Java entered, I'm kind of lagging, so I want to listen it again.
Sure.
Classes I left because today I just joined the class, so.
Okay. Fine. I can send you the link. Whoever is interested, maybe you can just send me your Gmail ID if I don't have it, or you just remind me. I'll send you. Okay.
Okay, Hari.
So in the interfaces, the interesting thing is that I mean, you need to understand this logic. And let me write it somewhere here. A class extends another class. Okay. And only one class. It can only extend only one class. A class implements one or more interfaces. Okay, and a class, sorry, an interface can extend another interface. And now here I may be having, let me create one more interface. I already have my world. I already have my world. Okay. Yes. This shows the sample that I really wanted. So an interface. Okay. I think I'll remove this because I have already another one. And my world. What do I have? Okay. Okay. Can extend another interface or more. Okay. And you please notice the difference. A class extends another class. An interface extends another interface. An interface also can extend another interface. Okay. And a class implements interface. Okay. Why these words, extending meaning you're providing when you are talking about a class. Okay, one class extending another class means another class has some implementation, and now on top of it I want to add few more methods or override some other methods. Okay, that's the regular inheritance means. Okay, and next one is a class implementing interface. When a class actually provides an implementation, it will have all the method definitions. Okay. Now also, but when you're talking about an interface can extend another interface. Another interface, my parent interface. If I look at this particular this one, see, I am actually, this interface called my world is extending other two interfaces. By that I mean, I don't mean that I am going to provide implementation. It is only that maybe that I'll provide another custom method. Just declare another method. If someone has to implement me, my class or my world, then what he has to do is he need to my world IMPL. I say interface here. And see here, whoever is going to provide implementation for me, that guy has to write all the methods. Complete structure from my world. My world is an interface. It has a method called my custom method, and then the other two interfaces that it is extending, I need to provide implementation for these methods as well. Whatever method, hello world has some method, say hello, and new world has one method called say hello and say good morning. So my world IMPL is supposed to provide complete implementation for all the methods available in that interface hierarchy. If my world has some methods and my world extends from some other interfaces, I need to provide implementation for all the methods available in the stack. So that is what I need to do when I implement a class that in turn extends some other, when I implement an interface that in turn implements another interface that extends other interfaces. Maybe that I'm actually making it a little complex, but if you get this point, any questions on this? Any questions on interfaces? Interface logic, what it is, why do we need? One reason is that to define in the beginning itself. Suppose you belong to a different team, I belong to a different team, and we have some common agreement that I write some code and you are going to use it, but upfront we want to start parallelly, and you don't need to wait for a month before I am done with my code. Then what we will do is we will sit together and we will define one interface. I'll give that interface to you. You start using that interface alone. Everywhere you represent by that interface. And then after 1 month when I'm done with my implementation, we will glue that implementation some way. Okay? Maybe that, in some place where you are creating the object, we'll just use, or I'll pass the object to you, something like that. That is one reason. And other one is interface is the best practice. We should always design interfaces first and implement to the interfaces. Our code should always be specific, or if I look at any project, generally what should happen is there should be some set of interfaces, some set of classes. This is a blind rule. Why? Because the reason is, if I want to change implementation, suppose hello world IMPL is there. Now do I have what is my main method? There should be some main method, interface demo. Okay. And I'll actually show you that. Hello equal to new. What is my hello world IMPL? I'll explain a simple logic. Why do we need to always design for I'm actually putting up in a simplest way possible. Now only focus on this set of classes, this code. Suppose when we are writing code, say tomorrow you discover that, okay, for me hello world IMPL is not sufficient. I want to have, say, new world IMPL or some other implementation, some other class altogether. I want to use some other class. If I go by class approach and use that, this is only for simplest cases that I am using it in the same project. But now instead of this, if some other, if there are multiple projects, and if I provide, instead of, if I can do this way as well. I can provide the class as a parameter. And in that case, I need to IMPL. Okay, I need to do like this. Now this is the simplest scenario. What I'll do is to make it better for our understanding, I'll make like this. Now I have a method which takes hello world IMPL. Okay. Now also I'm declaring an object. I'm doing like this. Now suppose if I need to change the implementation, instead of hello world, if I have to use, say, my world, let me save this. If I need to use my world, what happens is that, I need to change. How many places I need to change? Multiple places. This is one. So it throws up other error. So I need to fix this one. Now I also need to fix here. In the simplest scenario, I needed to do changes in 3 different places. Okay, but otherwise, okay, now when I use interface, the best approach will be that now it's the same old code. Now what I'll do is I'm using interface now. Okay, hello world here and hello world there. And here instead of this class, I'll say my world IMPL, and it works. Why? Because my world IMPL provides the method implementation for the methods available in this interface. That is, say hello. Now how many places I need to change my code? Only one place where I am initializing the object. Okay, so interfaces make your code loosely coupled. This is the important word. They make your code as independent as possible, as isolated as possible, having less dependencies. So if I have 2 different projects or even within the same project, always it is recommended approach is you always design interfaces first and then write your code as per the interfaces. Tomorrow if you need to change the definition of your classes, or you provide another class and you want to use that class, or you want to use different classes in different scenarios, still your old code that uses your objects based on interfaces, that will be same. So couple of benefit that I could see always is with interfaces is that one is multiple inheritance, and second is this is ease of maintenance. Because tomorrow if someone want to provide another implementation, then it becomes easy. And better design. Why? Because if I need to explain my project, my code to someone else, okay, who doesn't need to understand my implementation such as, but he want to understand, he is a techie, he will understand certain aspects. So I just put a diagram with all the interfaces and say that, okay, this is, and interface will contain the methods anyway. So this interface has this method, this calls that, you explain that theory part, okay, and he will be able to understand easily. Coupled to this, you provide, your class diagrams or sequence diagram. We will have a discussion on, UML diagrams and in some class. But with that particular thing, when you explain, it will become very easy. So these are the benefits. These are the benefits that you are going to have when you use interfaces. Okay. Now, so far we discussed about classes with polymorphism, inheritance, and also for when you are talking about inheritance, inheritance is not complete. Inheritance is not complete without interfaces. So we have these interfaces primarily to support multiple inheritance, as well as to define a loosely coupled code where any change in the implementation, you don't want to impact everyone else or any other code that uses your code, right? And better design. Okay, maybe point 2 and 3 can be mixed together and say, as a single point. Any questions on this? Murli, Srikanth?
No, it's fine for me.
It's fine, right? Okay. Okay. Murli?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine, Hari.
Okay. And Suji? You're able to follow me?
I'm okay.
You're okay, sure, right? Yeah, because like going forward things will become difficult. So if you think that I need to explain something once more, I have no problem in doing it, or we can go but after a week it will be difficult because I will be using some of the terms that I am using now, and I'll not be explaining these terms. I'll say just we'll have an interface, and if you are confused about what kind of stuff of the interface is, then it will be little difficult. So thanks for the confirmation. Now there is a class, there is an interface. Do we have a middle way? Do we have a middle way? Meaning I want to define some methods and I want to declare some methods. Meaning I want to declare, one sec. I want to declare few methods like an interface, and I don't know what the implementation is. Okay, but I do know implementation for some methods. What should we do? Anyone knows the answer? Is my point clear? What I'm saying is that I have some methods. I am declaring certain methods. Okay, I am declaring certain methods in an like an interface. Okay, but I do know implementation for certain methods, and I want to. I know that this implementation is going to be very common, and no one is going to change, or like even if they change, they have to change in the same place, in the single place. So that purpose is achieved by another term called abstract class. So it's a class, but how I define is, I just mark it as an abstract. Okay, or maybe now I'll just say, okay, what I will do is, okay, class, but oh, package name abstract is not a valid Java identifier. Okay. Maybe I'll move some classes into this. Okay, I'll say abstract world. Okay, I forgot to keep the abstract keyword. Now what I can do is, I'll go by the again simple methods only, hello world methods. No, I think this I'll have this as a, I want to provide definition. It's a common thing. Okay, but next I want to have string okay. So now I can actually repeat this. I can actually repeat this particular thing, meaning I can have some methods that are completely say hello, say hi. I can even have another method called say hi. I can have and I can have any number of methods declared. Now you look at this, it is a class. I declare this as a class, but then here I am not providing any implementation, and I'm using another keyword called abstract. Abstract means it's the summary, and actually it is here in this context. It says, it means that it is incomplete. I'm just declaring the method. Declaring means, method declaration means just the signature, means public abstract string say good morning. And definition means if I provide and write your logic, whatever logic you want to write, in that case it will be. And now when I declare a method as abstract, when I declare a method as an abstract method, then we should not be defining the body, or we should not be defining it, so we should not have any body for the method. So I need to, this behavior of an abstract method is very same as in an interface. In interface also what you do, in interface also you actually provide only declaration, and some other class will use it. Whoever is going to implement this interface, they are going to implement the definition and use it. So you will have the same meaning of an interface, okay, when I use abstract methods. Now similarly, if I look at other regular methods, they look like a regular class. Now can I make this as private? No.
No.
And abstract method can only set visible, public or protected. See, I think we looked at the protected part. Protected is only to share with your successors, your child only. If you are a class and you have a child class, your child class can access your protected methods. So it is shared secret within the family. But for outsiders, they will not have any access to it. Right? So when I am talking about, and this is pretty much, in terms of inheritance, I cannot create an object for it. Let me see if I can create an object for abstract class. I will not be able to create AW equal to, this statement is correct, but next is the magic. Next, I cannot say abstract world. If you use it, it will provide another implementation altogether. Abstract. And it says cannot instantiate the type abstract world. Please read this message. Cannot instantiate the type abstract world. What really it means is that we cannot initialize an abstract class. Rather, we have to have a concrete class I'm just using junk names. Abstract, no, not demo, abstract world. Perfect. Now now here what I can do is I can use the concrete. You can do this and AW dot say good morning. I can say good morning because the implementation is there. What happened? Okay, I need to print it somewhere, right? The output, then only I can feel it. Come on. Okay. So this is an interesting thing, that the abstract class is a mix of a class and an interface. Okay, so the summary is, an abstract class contains, we cannot create an object for abstract class, because when you declare an abstract, it is not concrete, it is not complete. So someone has to implement, or sorry, someone has to extend your class, and you can create objects for the extended class. You can create the object for extended class like concrete world, okay. So here what I'm doing is, I'm declaring, please remember that the variable type always should be of the abstract class or interface. If I look at in interface demo, see, this is a very important thing. I'm saying here also, I'm always using hello world, this is an interface, new world is an interface, and implementation wise, I'm providing concrete class. Hello world IMPL is a concrete class. It is a class having the methods. It is not abstract class. But the type that I'm declaring is always of interface. When you go by interface design, or when you have abstract classes in your in your project, the variable type, you have to try to specify only interface or abstract class wherever possible, because of the same issue that if I provide if I use the object like this, hello world IMPL, there's no problem with it. But tomorrow if you want to change the class name, you need to change all the places wherever you are referring. But generally, because interfaces are supposed to be static. Once you declare the interface, you will not be doing too many changes there. So when you use interface by interface approach or abstract class approach, and use them for variables like this, here abstract world, and abstract world is an abstract class. Okay, so what happens is that your code is more scalable, it is maintainable. So tomorrow if there is some change, I don't need to do change in everywhere. I can only do change in the concrete implementation, and it works fine. Please remember that. If you have doubt, if you want me to explain this again, I can do that. It is the best practice that you always declare your variable types to the bare minimum ones, the interface or abstract class. Now I can actually, we can actually cheat Java, or sometimes I'll say abstract. Sometimes it may happen that I don't want anyone to create objects for this class. So the reason is, I just want to say public, say string, say hello, and I provide the definition as well. I provide the definition as well. I'm providing the definition as well. Okay, so oops. When you declare a class as abstract, when you declare the class as abstract, we are forcing that no direct objects will be created. Use an abstract class. We always need to extend means inheritance. Use the child or derived class to to create objects and use. Okay, I hope this rule is clear. We can use the keyword abstract, and the abstract class can have some certain methods declared. If I look at abstract world, you can actually, like, generally, like, you can have certain methods as abstract and certain methods with complete implementation. But it may happen that sometimes you want to enforce, I mean, that, or let me say this. So the way you can actually, there is no way you can create object for an abstract class, right? Using that basic fundamental, if I want to, in some certain scenarios where I don't want to create, I don't want user to create any object of this class, then what I say is that though I have all the implementation, I'll just prefix the keyword abstract in the class declaration. Public abstract class, you may be having concrete, all the methods actually. Still, when you declare an abstract class, then I cannot create object for it. Say another abstract world AAW equal to new, and I cannot provide, and it doesn't accept, see here, cannot instantiate the type another abstract world, because we declare that as an abstract class. Is this clear?
Yep.
Perfect. And I'm going to use another thing called, another keyword. So far what I introduced is, we discussed about, interface. We discussed about the benefits, or like, why do we need interface, and then we try to look at, the intermediate way of class and interface, and that we found the solution in abstract class. Now the other thing, so the opposite word for, in Java for abstract class is final. See here, I'm creating a class called final world, and maybe I'll just use no static word now for now. String. Okay. And now let's try to extend this class. I can pretty much, because it is not possible, so I'll try to write some class here itself. Class my final child extends null world, and it shows an error. The type my final child cannot subclass the final class final world. When you declare a class as final, that's a way to stop your inheritance. You are forcing that no child can be created for this class. No interface is possible for this. Remember this. In case of an abstract, no child class is possible for final or final classes. Oops. Okay. In case of an abstract class, you are forcing that there should be an inheritance. If I declare an abstract class, I cannot create an object for it because it's an abstract. I am forcing that let there be a child class that extends my abstract class and create objects for that child class, right? An abstract class always needs inheritance. And that exactly opposite of it is that you want to enforce that, okay, no child should be created for my class. Then use the keyword final. Use the keyword final. This is an interesting discussion so far. We have been looking at, polymorphism, inheritance, and then, when you look at around this area, then you get so many things. And now because I'm discussing about, if this is clear, I'll explain, few other keywords related with final. So far it's clear? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So final has two more similar words, not related to final. I mean, it's only that, word. So for the classes this is the definition for, the inheritance and classes. Okay. A class, interface, then abstract class, final class. That's it. Okay. And it is possible that if a class is not final, you may declare, one more thing about final keyword is that you may declare a final, you can skip this particular thing and you may declare a method as final. Any inferences, what will be the derivative or behavior of a method like this? If I use a keyword called final to a method and not to the class, what will happen? Guesses. I told you the reason. I mean, what will happen if I use a keyword called final at the class level? What will happen is cannot override the final method from final word. See this? When I don't declare the class as final, but I use the keyword called final, to the method, then when you are inheriting the class and if you try to override the method, it will not allow. You want to stop overriding a method, you want to stop someone redefining your method, final is the keyword for the method. That is the way to go. Okay, let it be like this. Perfect. There are another two keywords with final. One is, final use is this much only. You can either use final for class or method. Okay. Other keywords is one is called finally and other is called finalize. I'll explain that, a little later. That these two keywords I need to anyway, while explaining exceptions, Java exceptions, I'll explain, the other two keywords. Finally is related to the exceptions and finalize is actually related with garbage collection. I'll discuss that, during exceptions. Maybe that could be our next topic. It would make sense, I feel that, we'll discuss about Java exceptions and then move on to Java inner classes. Inner classes followed by threads, we'll do that. So tomorrow I'll discuss Java exceptions so that it looks natural flow for us. And and one more thing about abstract class is, for in case of final, it is possible that I may declare at the method level and final at the class level as well as at the method level. It is possible that I can declare, only at the method. I can only say a particular method as a final and leave the class as normal. Okay. But let me, for now, okay, I can do this. Okay. I'll close this. That's about the final keyword. But in case of an abstract class, you cannot just say abstract for a particular key method. I am, see here, I'm saying, I remove the abstract keyword from the class and I only have abstract keyword for the method, abstract method. But it says there is an error. Abstract method say good morning in type abstract world can only be defined by an abstract class. Can only be defined by an abstract class. What that really means is that if you want to declare a method as an abstract, your class should be declared as an abstract as well. Your class should be declared as an abstract as well. Okay. So there is a lot of things about interface and abstract classes. Okay, and the opposite of it, final keyword as well. So what I will do is, so I'll stop it for today, and if you have any questions, I'll take. So when we're talking about this, I mean the use of abstract class and interface. Interface is a clean approach of designing something because you declare all the methods and no definitions. But it may happen that within your module, within your particular project, within a particular project, you have some common logic, okay, and you don't want to put that everywhere, okay, and in that kind of situations where that is only internal to your application or your module, in that case you can use abstract class. Because I'm not sharing with outsiders. Sometimes we do share with outsiders as well abstract implementations, but for outside world you should always use interfaces. But when you have some implementation in place and you think that is common and no one should change that implementation, or maybe no one, need to duplicate that particular logic, you can go with abstract class. So, but personally what I believe is that within your implementations, and you can have certain common code into abstract class, and then provide the abstract methods and regular complete methods within the abstract class, and then try to use it. So the benefit is that tomorrow there is a common code will be into one particular thing. Suppose if I have this particular method, abstract world. Now, if I look at abstract world, what I have is there are a couple of methods. There are a couple of methods that I know the definition, and I know that no one need to change this again, or this implementation is same for any other classes. So what I can do is concrete world. If I look at concrete world, it is only implementing the say good morning. It may happen, I may have some other class. And here I may say something, maybe some other language. Or for now, I'll just say, hello world. I'm just saying. Now, if you look at this particular thing, that in my both the classes, what I am getting is, when I create an object for this particular class, I will be having the methods say hello and say hi. The definitions is common for concrete. Oh, sorry, this probably I want to change it to. I'll change it. What I'll do is, okay, the shift out. So, and the class is also changed. Class name is also changed. The shortcut that is I used is called Alt Shift R. I use Alt Shift, both of them together at once, and then press, select the class that you want to change, and you give a new name, and wherever this references are there, everywhere the particular references will be changed across your project. So there is one Eclipse shortcut, or the same thing can be done. Same thing can be done from source, no, not source, refactor, rename. I have something called rename, Alt Shift R. This is the one I'm talking about. Okay. So this is the benefit with abstract class. The benefit is that within my project, I want to use some of the code. I want to provide some of the code, use the inheritance and code reusability purpose. I want to do that and declare an abstract class like, abstract world, and use it. So the benefit is that you are getting a mix of a class and interface behaviors with abstract class. So that is the answer. So some of the interview questions around this will be that, when do you make a class as final, or what is the benefit of abstract class? What is the difference between abstract class and an interface? When do you use interface? When do you use abstract class? And inheritance, within the inheritance, what is inheritance? What is polymorphism? How many types of polymorphism is possible? Right? These are the interview questions, some of the questions that you should be very thorough with. We discussed it so far, and the same thing, as long as you practice it once, you do the some programming, that whatever the simple program that we are doing, you just do that, and maybe you take up a simple, a bit better complex scenario and try to implement it. Then believe me, the answers will be automatic. You don't need to really mug something and prepare for interview. If you are hands-on, if you practice it, it will be very straightforward.